All right, hello everybody. How's it going today? Glowplasma here to discuss something in a way that I really have never done before. I mean, look, you can see me. I'm in live action. I'm recording this on my phone. I've got fancy microphone on my jacket and a room with very, very poor lighting, but I also have a college class, media sales, in like 15 minutes, which means I got to get this done quick. It is currently like 9:15 in the morning on March 24th. And here at 11 p.m., really like not even 2 hours my time, right whenever I get out of my media sales class, I've got an exam in there today. But I'm going to be thinking of Chainsaw Man because the manga apparently ends today on chapter number 232. 2 weeks ago, we got to chapter like, hey, Puchita got eaten and all of this like weird, crazy stuff is happening. And this is such an important series to me. So I really just wanted to make a quick video discussing my thoughts on it before this final chapter comes out and before I read it. I'll make an after part to this wherever I talk about the chapter, but right now, what am I feeling? I loved the first part of Chainsaw Man. I wasn't a big manga Weekly Shonen Jump reader at the time, so I never was able to read it weekly. I literally started reading right whenever the manga ended in Jump, so really whatever it is there. But then, like, I bought all the volumes. I really enjoyed the story. Some of my favorite videos on this channel was talking with my best friend Jaden in our school's parking lot between breaks, talking about the first season of Chainsaw Man and the Reze movie later last year. And also the build up to part 2. It was if you weren't a Chainsaw Man fan at the time, it's just very hard to explain what all of us were feeling in the moment of a new part of this great story. Where's Fujimoto going to take us next? And I have so much respect for Fujimoto as an author and subverting the audience expectations and doing things that really no manga artist has really ever done, at least in my, I shouldn't say nobody ever has done it, but bringing it to a way that I could experience it. The whole idea of Denji just losing this fight here and then Puchita being like, well, here's the thing. If I eat myself, everything will be fine. So Denji, you can still stay alive. It's such an emotional moment and one that you can tell Fujimoto's had in his head for a long time. Now, a lot of people can talk about the execution of Chainsaw Man in the form of like, hey, brother, this series just really ain't cutting to mustard right now. 15-page chapters every week. And yeah, I'll agree. The weekly reading experience of Chainsaw Man isn't always the best. But Chainsaw Man, reading it in volume format like I did last July all the way up to volume 18 and then the rest of the manga that was released at that point, was just a great reading experience, man. I still think the Chainsaw Man Church arc wasn't, I didn't really enjoy it that much, but really everything else, it's such a brilliantly written story. Now, I only have a few minutes left here before I gotta go to class. Like, I cannot stress enough how I have a test in like 5 minutes. But either way, the whole idea of what are we getting this upcoming chapter? I don't think it'll be 15 pages. If I had to guess anything, I'm guessing probably more about 21 or something like that. I don't think Fujimoto is going to like break out a solid like, oh yes, look at all of us here. We're going to have a 45-page chapter of color pages and all of that. I don't think that's going to happen. It would be so cool if it did though. But I also am a guy who is sitting here thinking, you know what? We are going to be getting a part 3 of Chainsaw Man. Now, another person that I know in the manga community, actually a Chainsaw Man YouTuber, and is on the same Kagurabachi podcast I'm on, called Red Reg, whenever we filmed our last episode, which I have still yet to edit, I'm just so busy with everything, and this video ain't going to add on, this video is not going to help anything, you know what I'm saying? But he's said a really funny joke that I just want to believe is true, where, yeah, Chainsaw Man is over. I mean, Viz has even put out a post like, yeah, Chainsaw Man is done, nothing more is coming out of it. But, like, if Puchita's gone, why is Denji Chainsaw Man? What if he's, like, school guy from now on and we get a new manga where it's... Because, like, I want to continue to follow these characters. Even if we never see Aki, Power, Reze, Asa, or Yoru, any of these characters again, you know what? I'll be fine as long as I can just continue to read a little bit about Denji. I don't think that the chapter coming out today is necessarily the end. I think we will be getting something in the future from Chainsaw Man in manga form. But honestly, I really don't know what to expect. Like, I've seen a lot of people be like, oh yeah, it's Denji's cabin out in the woods, and he is just going to be sitting there and dying of cancer or organ failure or whatever he was suffering through before he became Chainsaw Man with Puchita. And honestly, if we don't see Asa or Yoru again, Yeah, it'd be a little weird in the moment, but I think it would make for a very good storytelling narrative of Fujimoto just writing his story like this, man. I mean, it'd be a ballsy move, but what is Chainsaw Man if not ballsy? So, yeah, I had more predictions, but I just really got to get to class. I've been recording for like 5 minutes or something, but I guess you are going to see me. I don't know if I'm going to read the chapter live. I'm going to read the chapter live, have my computer like sitting in front of me and do the same sort of setup. But yeah, Chainsaw Man finale, or part 2 finale, I guess. It's already ended once, but man, Fujimoto, I believe in you. No matter what anybody else says, this guy right here, I'm Corbin, also Glowplasma, or whatever other names you got to call me. Fujimoto, I believe in you. You are going to give us a great conclusion to this story, and yeah, the internet's going to be decisive, but the internet's going to do what the internet's going to do. Fujimoto, I believe in you. Alrighty, everybody, how are we doing now? I don't even know what time it is. I'm going to be real. It is currently 11 a.m., so the Chainsaw Man chapter just dropped, and I had to go to my media sales class. I tried to get back to my dorm room as quickly as I could. Of course, as soon as I got here, the generator outside my building just like started firing up. But I was going to do like a whole section where I talked about everything in the chapter, my expectations one more time before the chapter came out. But if we just look at my computer here and just open up Viz, hopefully the website is not crashing out on us right now. Here it is, Chainsaw Man chapter 232. Now I'm going to open it up and go to chapter. Prediction, we see Denji, 21 or so pages. That's what I'm guessing. Opening it up, we have 32 pages. Alrighty. And I don't think this is the end of the series. And I'm not going to go through this narratively beat by... You know what, I will. Like, who really cares, you know? But chapter 232, titled, Thank You, Chainsaw Man. Denji is in his shack in the woods, and we see that he goes and he wakes up here. He's coughing up some blood onto his hand, like, pretty much, and he wipes it away from his nose as well. He's wearing his eye patch, and we see he's like, all right, feels like I had a good dream. I wish I'd only have good dreams, like eating with a girl and playing video games. He also wants a pet dog as well, so it doesn't seem like he doesn't seem like he remembers really anything. Somebody comes and knocks on his door, and then we see a truck going to the same exact work shed that we saw in the very first chapter. And we even see this is the guy we saw in the very first chapter as well, with the zombie devil. And what we want is the devil's power, and what I want is the deaths of all other devil hunters. I don't remember if that's what we said in the first chapter, but if I had to guess so, I would think it. We see all of the events of everything going on. We see he gets stabbed, and Denji's just thinking like, oh man, am I really going to kick the bucket before even one good thing could happen to me? That's just my luck, though. We also then see an image of Power going through and just tearing up all of these devils. Like, it's a naked woman, a naked woman. At least I got to have one good dream. So Denji is dreaming about all of this, and we then on pages 6 and 7, we get like a full page spread here of Power destroying, carving everything up. And if I had to guess, this probably isn't a dream, but I mean, it's Power. I mean, it's so obviously her, and she's like, ha ha ha, blood, give it back, 'tis all mine. And she's just destroying legit everything. And she kills a zombie devil. So this is happening in the moment. Fujimoto, I knew I trusted you. This human smells like a dog is what Power said, and like, hey, I like dogs. You know what? This is a contract. I'll give you life. In exchange, you're mine until I die. And oh, okay, so Power's making a contract with Denji, alrighty. And we see a chain come through and slap out the hand out of the way that Power is feeding Chainsaw Man blood with, or Denji blood with. And of course, chains Nayuta, or Makima, and it looks like black hair, so maybe Nayuta? And she's like, oops, I thought you were the zombie devil. And now we see Denji here, who, I don't know if he's been healed, but he's now, like, up off of the ground, so I think he has been, so I think he's now in this contract, and Power is standing up, like, fist ready to fight. And this, obviously, Control Devil is like, oh, You beat those guys? Well, then you could be useful. From today on, you both belong to me. And it seems like the same, like, two fingers out like Nayuta did to fall of the chains, pretty much. Power has some obvious, very big things to say of, like, belong to you? I think not. Humans really are idiotic. Just, you know what, great words from a great character. Human, behold my battle prowess. I'm Power, the Blood Devil. My power is said to equal that of a god. So take this. She runs up, of course, still just starkly naked, and takes a blood, it looks like an axe or something like that, like a cleaver, swings it down, and we see the image of Nayuta here, small. She points forward and does a good old bang. And the next panel, we just see both Denji, who he still has his eye patch on, which is very interesting to me. But we see him and Power standing here, all of the dogs around Nayuta pretty much, and Nayuta is sitting at like Makima's desk, and we see Powers asking, like, a devil at school? And Nayuta's like, yep, I'm busy. You two go kill it by yourselves, pretty much, right? And she's sort of like sighing, like, I'm just so busy. And she's playing like it looks like a Game Boy or something like that. And we also see Meowie, who I guess is still Power's cat, is like going all around Nayuta and like rubbing up on her. I guess we're going to school. This is probably where we'll see Asa fight, or maybe Reze. Actually, I think it probably would be Reze more likely, being that we've seen all these characters so far. Power's very upset, like, Meowie shouldn't love anyone but me. That girl has to be the control devil or something. If only you knew, Power. And Denji in the background's like, well, it must be nice to have a happy-go-lucky brain like yours. And Power's like, no, I'm not happy. That girl gets to keep Meowie and a bunch of dogs. My only pet is you, and you aren't even cute. That's such a Power line, man. Like, oh my gosh. And Denji's like, hey, Powie, weapon. And in front of them, I guess he's like asking her for a weapon, or like, hey, like Powie's in like a pet name or something, like, hey, give me a weapon. And we see this, like, I guess crab looking devil thing, and Power's like, hey, well, what do you want to kill with today? And we see Denji's like, well, I used an axe the other day, so give me a chainsaw. And we see that he goes and he gets a chainsaw made out of blood. Like, that's what he did the first time. It was a chainsaw made out of Power's blood, how he ended the first part of the series, pretty much. The two of them go through, take care of this big crab-looking devil thing, and we see so many people. It's Chainsaw Man. People are dead on the ground, and Denji's like, well, the devil's been exterminated. The area's safe now. Like, don't touch the blood or the body, please. And all of the people in this school are running away, and Denji's like, wow, I wish I could have gone to school too. Fujimoto. We see a bird devil, a chicken devil, Bucky. And of course it runs and jumps into the arms of a girl who looks like Asa. And Denji looks around and he's like, hey, Power, isn't that thing a devil too? Like, hey, Power. And we see that Power's just like on the ground licking up all of the blood from the devil they just killed. And Denji's starting to run after Asa and Bucky, like, damn it. And he's running, oh, Fujimoto, the GOAT! And he's running, chasing after Asa, and we continuously get shots more punching in on Denji's face as he's running, and of course, Asa is running, and what does Asa always do? She trips. And we see that Asa trips, and it looks like she's getting ready to crush Bucky underneath her weight. But we see that Denji yells out, drops the chainsaw, and reaches out to Asa and pulls her towards him. And Bucky isn't crushed in a trip and fall. And oh, this is a beautiful two-page spread, man, on pages number 22 and 23 of Denji here grabbing Asa and sort of pulling her close. And I really love now how we both see their very shocked expressions of, oh my gosh, like, I am so sorry. And Denji sort of like pulling back, like, oh, my bad, eye patch still on. And Denji's even like that, like, hey, my bad, girl, as we see Bucky's just on the ground. And Fujimoto, the GOAT! Oh! As we see that Asa just says, thank you, Chainsaw Man. And this gets Denji's heart, his regular human heart. Oh! It looks like Denji's heart. It's like got the Pochita face on it still. Oh, that's just so cute. And Denji's like, oh, Chainsaw Man? Like, what are you talking about? And Asa's like, well, because you were fighting with a chainsaw back there. And Denji's like, oh, yeah. And the two of them just stand there and stand in silence. And Asa then walks over to all of her friends with Bucky still around, pretty much. And we see that Denji's like, hey, and Asa's like, well, bye then. And as she's walking away, Denji just thinks, wow, that devil. And then we see Power hanging on the back of Denji like, I'm hungry, I want some food. And Denji just thinks, my heart, like, it thumped for a second there. And Power's like, oh, like, you probably have, like, a heart thump disease or something. And she's like, I know about it because I have medical knowledge. Treat me to a meal and I can cure it for you. I love Power. And Denji's just looking longingly. And yeah, Asa goes and plays with all of her friends, and Denji in this new timeline is just standing here looking very longingly as the two of them walk away, as Power just says like, hey, we're having fried chicken, right? And egg rolls and fried rice, ramen, and pot stickers and ice cream on the way home. And as they're walking away, the final lines of the chapters are Denji's just like, hey, I'm broke, like, let's go shake down our seniors. And that's where we end this chapter of Chainsaw Man. I really do find it funny how this chapter is just a retelling of everything, and honestly, I could see this just being the dream that Denji woke up from, and the dream that he wanted to have, pretty much, of he's got this friend in Power who he loves and cares for. His, like, family figure Nayuta comes back as the idealized control devil that Denji wants to be a part of, and of course, at the school we get a little bit of Asa, and of course, him being Chainsaw Man, wielding a chainsaw and saving Asa from crushing Bucky. Like, you can tell that Fujimoto's had this thought planned out for a very long time. And in the process, I mean, the chapter title is Thank You, Chainsaw Man. And that's what Asa says in the moment. So, like, man, I'm a little bit of a mixed thoughts because this is, like, such a concrete conclusion in my mind. I think this is the end of Chainsaw Man. I know earlier in the video I was like, part 3 coat, part 3 hype. No, I think this just was the conclusion that we were meant to get from the beginning. Though it's one of these things where I think the build-up to this point has been a little misguided, if you'd let me say. I really do enjoy this moment and just seeing all of these callbacks. Asa getting ready to crush Bucky, and of course then having Yoru be the devil and the war devil and all of that. But that doesn't happen because Denji was able to stick a hand out and save her. He's got Power in his life again, his really big, his best friend at the end of the day. And, I mean, I'm guessing that the reason Aki's not even here is because, like, everything's gone well enough for him that he's with Himeno. No things by Makima, no controlling has happened to make him be in a position where he would know Power and Denji. So I feel like this is truly the end of the story, though I think definitely the build-up to this is the part that a lot of people aren't going to be a big fan of, in just the general idea of, well, why did we have to wait this long for this? Like, could this have not happened during the initial, like, Chainsaw Man fight or any time before then? I do feel like it's a little weird to have such a drawn-out battle. I mean, it felt like it went on for a very long time between Asa and Denji. I've not reread all of those chapters, so I can't say for concrete any of that for sure, but it's just one of those things where, like, I feel like people would like this. Like, I like this. Like, don't get me wrong. I love this ending. Like, this is, like, I want everything to be happy. I love Hope Core stories. This is the type of story that I love hearing. Though I feel like a lot of audiences aren't going to be happy just because, like, this could have come much earlier and it could have been more of a succinct story at the end of the day. But also, man, let just Fujimoto write whatever he's going to write. If there's more to Chainsaw Man, whatever. If there's less to Chainsaw Man, whatever. But at the end of the day, Fujimoto, I mean, thank you for this story, and hey, we saw Power again, man. We saw Meowie. What else can I say? All of the dogs, they're alive in this timeline. Okay, I am back here. I think I'm going to insert this in earlier to the video, but I've now been like scrolling Twitter for like the past 4 minutes. Of course, everybody's talking about Chainsaw Man. But there's this tweet here by WinterVenom91 on Twitter, and somebody who I think has a lot of really good takes in the anime and manga community. And they were like, hey, I read the final chapter of Chainsaw Man, and while I think the ending was alright, I felt like Fujimoto wrote himself into a corner and couldn't get out of it. I agree with this 110%. It's obvious what he was looking for from the beginning, but Fujimoto, I can tell, is definitely one of these authors who gets an idea, and even though he's got everything planned out from the get-go, or he may not, you know? I mean, maybe part 1 just turned into a masterpiece by, like, sheer accident. But it's just one of these things to where, yeah, I think Fujimoto just had a few too many good ideas and just kept writing them and expanding on all of these fights to where he just couldn't get out of it, and he had to do this sort of ballsy move to wrap up the series. And I'm a few minutes later, and I still think this is a great ending. I think the whole thing of saving Bucky from tripping and Asa tripping as well, just peak fiction. But I do think that I totally agree that Fujimoto just wrote himself into a corner and had no way out, and without just giving us more sort of useless content, this is what he decided to do. So yeah, back to the video, I guess. But I just wanted to point out that tweet because I thought it was just really, really well worded and written. Like, what can I say about it? Just, yeah, good chapter. I really like this, and yeah, I think it was very well done. And you know what? Let's just go to Twitter, and yeah, I don't see anything about part 3, so I think that the manga is just over. And you know what? I think I'm fine with it. All of that being said, this will be Glowplasma. Well, signing out. I'll talk about Chainsaw Man anime again someday, but until that happens, yeah, Volume 24 will be out June 4th. It's ended today on the Jump Plus app. Yeah, thanks Fujimoto, and this was the end of Chainsaw Man. This will be Glowplasma. Well, we're going to be signing